Welcome back, and welcome to a new top 10 list. This time, I will be looking at 10 of the most successful horror movies of all time. And of course, this is the Goku Report. So, let's look at 10 of the most successful horror films of all time at box office. And these are films that have to an extent, meet certain criteria I have. If it is overwhelmingly action but has brief moments of horror, doesn't qualify for the list. Though it has to have at least so much I would consider suspense, elements of suspense and horror both. So first up we have four honorable mentions. Some might disagree with this, and if you do, leave a comment explaining why. But the first honorable mention is a film released in 2018, part of what we know today is the Conjuring Cinematic Universe. First honorable mention is The Nun, released in 2018. It made a worldwide box office of $365,550,119. Quite successful, needless to say. The next honorable mention, released in 2012, is the sort of prequel to the Aliens universe, that is Prometheus. It would end up doing $403,354,469. Next honorable mention, which I was surprised when I looked at box office and saw this, but I'm happy because love the film. More on the suspense side, more so than horror itself. From, of course, the director M. Night Shyamalan. Released in 2002, starring Joaquin Phoenix as well as Mel Gibson, making $408,247,917. That is Signs. Last honorable mention, releasing 2017, it does at least have certain elements and aspects of horror that meet the criteria to barely make it, but released in 2017, starring Tom Cruise, making $409,231,607. The 2017 version of The Mummy, which is quite interesting. I didn't realize that Tom Cruise's Mummy film actually did that well at the box office. Coming at number 10, released in 1999, making $415,933,406. So, did very well for itself with over 415 million. The 1999 starring Brendan Fraser Mummy film barely makes number 10. It does surprise me that The Mummy actually did that much, but it deserves it. I love Brendan Fraser Mummy. Coming at number 9, arguably in many people's opinions, one of the absolute scariest horror films of all time, and really would start the popularity of possession horror films. Um, Coming at number 9, based on true events, released in 1973, it would end up grossing $441,306,145. Quite impressive, especially for a film from the 70s. Coming at number 9 is The Exorcist. Coming at number 8, definitely more suspense than actual horror, but it would lead to the popularity of like giant creature animal horror films. Um, Released in 1975, 2 years later, it would end up grossing $470,653,000. Quite impressive feat. Directed by, of course, the great Steven Spielberg. Coming at number 8 is Jaws. Coming in at number 7, released in 2019, would end up grossing $473,093,220. Sequel to the very beloved film from a couple years prior, based on the Stephen King novel quite good. Not as good as the first, but still great. Coming at number 7 is It Chapter 2. Yep, It Chapter 2 managed to make 473,000 million. Quite impressive. Coming in at number 6, another monster film, released in 2018, would gross $530,243,742, and that is The Meg, which I am surprised The Meg made that much. Coming at number 5, more action, but does have elements of horror to meet the criteria. This film was released in 2013. It would gross $540,007,876, starring Brad Pitt. World War Z comes in 5th place. Coming in 4th place, released in 2007 based on a book by the same name, it would gross $585,349,010, starring Will Smith, and that is I Am Legend, which is a film I personally really like. I am surprised that there are genuinely people out there that do not like I Am Legend. I'm surprised. But I'm also quite surprised at how much I Am Legend actually made at the box office. I didn't realize it made almost $600 million. That was quite a surprise to me. Coming in at number 3 is a real surpriser. Directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Tom Cruise and others. It would be a remake attempt. I consider this film a pretty bad, one of the worst remakes in my opinion, but whatever. Released in 2005, it would gross $603,873,119. Looks like a film more Michael Bay would do than Spielberg, but whatever. Coming at number 3 is the remake of War of the Worlds, which I think is for the most part garbage. Some of the special effects aren't bad, but you could say the same about Michael Bay films as well. Coming in at number 2, this film held the spot as the largest grossing horror film of all time, would hold the spot for 18 years. And released in 1999, in most people's opinions, the greatest film by M. Night Shyamalan. It grossed worldwide $672,806,292, and that is, of course, The Sixth Sense, starring Bruce Willis, and a certain young actor at the time in the film, which of course would go on later to do the voice acting work for the popular protagonist of Kingdom Hearts, Sora. But with that said, coming at number 1, the film that would dethrone The Sixth Sense in 2017, and currently has held the spot now for 4 years, grossing $700,381,759, was the first of the 2 films of the theatrical adaptation of course, Stephen King's It, Chapter 1, or just It. Comes in at number 1, not surprised, it did so well, frankly. It remained, at least until Joker, it was the largest grossing R-rated film of all time, until Joker surpassed it. But doesn't change the fact, It, from 2017, is superb. I still have a part of me that still much prefers, of course, the version from the 90s, the miniseries version, and the greatness that is, of course, Tim Curry. But I gotta admit, Skarsgård did a superb job as Pennywise. A very different Pennywise, but at least people also did float in the newer adaptation. So I give it several points for that. But that is 10 of the top largest grossing films of all time. Like I said, I had to meet certain criteria, in my opinion, to qualify for the list. I'm not going based on criteria and something by Wikipedia, because Wikipedia screws up everything, as always. And, yeah. I don't believe in getting your info from Wikipedia, given anybody can put stuff on there. But with that said, that is 10 of the most successful horror films of all time at the box office. See you next time for some other future stuff. Stay tuned for a special Halloween version of Box Office Versus. I will be pinning against each other the first live action adaptation Resident Evil film versus the first live action adaptation Silent Hill film. We'll be facing each other next weekend on Box Office Versus. So stay tuned for that. I'll see y'all next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel. Stay safe and happy Halloween.